Hey, y'all, Patrick here with Vetted. Okay, we have a lot to get into. You see the thumbnail. You've seen the title. Logan Paul's UFO video, right? Where did it come from? How did this all happen? And is that video going to come out? I have some new information that I pieced together that I don't think you've seen, and definitely haven't seen all of this brought together in one video. So I'm hoping this will shine some light, and I have a theory that I'll share at the end about this, okay? But let's start off with how this all started. Who provided the video? So James Fox went on Joe Rogan's podcast and told this phenomenal story that he had told previously on some other podcasts, but one tidbit that was brand new. Logan Paul went out and got this video as well. So what am I talking about? Who's the video? Let's jump in. All right, we're going to start with James Fox on Joe Rogan telling this story. So we're going to watch most of this clip, but the other clips we're going to watch after this are pretty short and to the point. I've got an article, 2 articles, and yeah, my theory about this. All right, guys, let's go.
I get a phone call from Chuck Clark, and I'm back at home in Northern California, and this is kind of a long way away, and he goes, James, I got something you need to see. I said, okay, well, what is it? I can't tell you, but your jaw's going to hit the floor when you see it. I was like, that good? He goes, oh, yeah, that good. I said, I'm canceling all my plans, jumped in my car, and I drove straight through to Rachel, Nevada. I get to his house. This must have been, I'm going to guesstimate 95, 94, 95. Get to his house, and he's got a double wide right near the little alien. And he pops in this VHS tape. I was like, and it was like 2 guys on the quintessential road trip just to Area 50, you know, the surrounding areas, Rachel and the extraterrestrial lonely highway, and they're goofing off the alien, taking videos of each other, just the typical road trip out to Area 51, right?
Blair Witch Project.
Totally. And then they're goofing off next to the photographs of the alien and the crash disc, and then they're inside the little alien, and I'm like, okay, where's this going? Then all of a sudden, and
I've been out there too. Took a road trip out to Area 51. I'll put a link to a video that I made on our other channel before we started Vetted, way before we started Vetted. And in fact, before I interviewed James Fox, I'll put a link to that as well if you're interested. So I've been out to these places that they're going to be talking about in this video.
This with my own eyes. All of a sudden, the car's parked, and it's parked out by the black mailbox in the desert, and it's dusk.
I've been out to this area. In fact, part of my video contains the black mailbox that I saw. It's a black mailbox on the highway out to the entrances to Area 51 where the little alien is and all of that. It's literally a black mailbox on the side of a road with another road that leads into potentially another entrance to Area 51. I did not test that. But basically, you leave letters in there to the aliens in this black mailbox. And supposedly, they come and get it. So, anyway, I left my own letter. You'll see that in the video if you watch it.
Camera is on the armrest between the 2 seats, and it's slightly...
So, he's describing the Chuck Clark video here, okay?
Like it's not level, and it's filming the dashboard and the screen, the windshield, and there's 2 guys in there sounding like, you can't see them, sounding like they're trying to crawl under the seats. I mean, they're freaking out. And then one of them goes, it's over the top of us. It's over the top of us. And I'm like, damn, what is this video? Like, what am I, then all of a sudden, the car lights up on the inside, but the source of light is above it. Like if you can imagine, I've never seen anything like this. If you could put a pendulum with a light source above a vehicle, like above the car, like this, but very slow and fluid motion, like rocking back and forth, the shadows and the lights on the inside of the car are doing this really eerily. You've never seen anything like it. I'm looking like, my God, what is going on? And they're very scared. And one kid, who's the younger of the 2, is like, I'm getting out. I'm getting out of the car. Stay in the car. It's over the top of us. Stay in the fucking car. He goes, no, I'm getting out. And he gets out, and he videotapes a disc that was so low you could have hit it with a rock. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, that's what all the witnesses have tried to describe. That's like, if you could imagine the skin on the craft glowing like phosphorus on a beach, that's what it looked like. Like the skin was alive. And it had like a yellowy orange color to it. But you could clearly see it was a disc. I mean,
James Fox is such a great storyteller, isn't he?
not an orb. It was a disc. But the metal lit up like it was alive. I'd never seen anything like it. And it just wobbled like it was unstable, like doing this. And the camera guy goes, "Oh my God." And then something about the batteries, and then boom, it shuts off. I looked over at Chuck Clark. I said, "This is the video everyone's been waiting for." Unbelievable.
How do you know this is real? Because
If it's not real,
all my BS meters are going off right now.
Dude, fair enough. I get it. Fair enough. I saw this video with my own eyes.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a video, though.
It's a video, for sure. No question
And
about
you
it.
know they make fake videos.
Absolutely. It was 1995, and they could have. But why wouldn't... If
1995 is hard.
Remember that date, 1995.
Yeah, but why? It's never been released to the public. Why would you create a fake video?
What year did you see it?
I saw it like 95.
And so it's out there somewhere.
No, it's not. It's in Chuck Clark's got a copy of it. The story continues.
No, but I mean, someone has it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, in fact, if those two boys that shot it are out there, please come forward. Like, please.
How come no one's acquired this?
So I said to Chuck, "Oh, my God."
I got some information on who these two boys are. Boys.
Great, I can use this in my movie, right? Great. He goes, "Oh, no, they're terrified." I said, "Well, look, just put me in touch with the guys. You don't have to, like, give..."
But wait a minute. They're terrified, but they give it to a guy who lives in a trailer?
I'm just telling you.
Do you know what I'm saying, though?
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm really terrified. I don't want this getting out, but I'm going to give it to you.
I get it.
Guy who lives in a trailer.
I get it.
What does this guy do for a living?
He was a former military guy, and he's retired. But
Just a
but
retired
sit
military
with me
guy
for a
out in a
minute here.
trailer. This guy's a Fed.
So
that
I
he
know.
doesn't even live there.
But no,
he probably put on some fucking
Okay, so the
overalls
story
to hang
gets
out
better.
with you.
The story
Is
gets
his name
better.
Ray Epps?
I know, Joe. Believe me, I get it. But the story gets better.
Okay,
so sit
okay.
tight.
Okay.
Because I went on a couple of podcasts and I said, "Screw it, I don't care anymore. I saw this video. I'm going to start talking about it." Chuck Clark said, "If you ask me again after like 10 years or 12 years, I'm never talking to you again." So I was like, I of course asked him again. I said, "I'll give you 30 grand for the video," and he's not talking to me. So I went on like a Concrete podcast, and I went on this guy Julian Dorian's podcast, and I went on a bunch of other podcasts, and I gave the whole story. Let's let somebody else pick up the ball and run with it. I'm just telling you what I saw, okay? I get contacted a couple of years ago by a guy who goes, "I saw that video too." Then another guy contacts me and he goes, I'm a private investigator and I find people. I said, "Well, his name's Chuck Clark. Go to it." So he finds him. Right at that time, I'm going,
Finds him. Right? It's out in the desert. Not that hard to find.
on the Impulsive podcast with Logan Paul. And I tell Logan Paul the story, and he has exactly the same response you have. And I don't blame you, okay? I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm just telling you what I saw. It was very impressive what I saw. Very impressive. If it was a fake, my God, that was well done. He should be making movies with Spielberg. So anyway.
Remember that as well.
What is this gentleman's name who has this again?
Chuck Clark.
Chuck, what are you doing, Chuck?
Well, let me finish. So Logan Paul, he's like, I want to go to this guy's house. I said, "Hey, I got the guy. He's got the information." Logan's like, "This is all behind the scenes." So Logan Paul takes, I put him in touch with this guy, and this guy lives in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it was like Logan Paul takes a Mercedes with a bunch of guys and $100,000 in cash, a big brick. And he goes out to this guy's house in the middle of the desert. And Logan calls me in the middle of nowhere. And he's like, "You sure your contact's legit, dude? My phone doesn't work. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I got $100K cash in my pocket, and I can't find this guy." I said, "No, I'm sure he's good, you know?" And so Logan goes in there and meets Chuck Clark. And Chuck Clark's like, "Yeah, I got the tape right here." And so he says, I'll give you $100,000 for it. And the guy says, no way. And so Logan Paul going to reveal this for the first time. Logan Paul has got a button camera on his dress, on his clothes. So Logan Paul's like, all right, well, this guy doesn't want to, he's going to die with it. So let's get this thing on camera. So Logan's like, well, let me see it at least. So Logan looks at it with this thing and, could you show it to me again? Gets another angle. And
So basically, yeah, Logan Paul films it with a button camera because the guy won't take the money. Let's look at a few clips here. So this is Logan Paul talking about that footage. All right. 4 months ago, basically after Joe Rogan or James Fox reveals it on Joe Rogan, Logan Paul talks about it. And this is Logan Paul talking about the most interesting part of the video. Here we go.
Great. And everything about it screams bullshit, which is the true reason I haven't released it. It's not enough. It doesn't have enough meat on the bone and proof for me to put it out confidently and be like, this is legit UFO footage. There's one kind of interesting thing about the video that could prove its validity. When you scrub through the footage forward and back, like kind of fast, like you take your little slider and you scrub through like this, the disc hovers so fluidly. It's like buoyant almost in the air. And I'm not sure if that type of movement, like as fluid as it was possible in 1995 VFX editing. It looks like too good. It looks too good. And it's the one compelling thing about this video where I'm like, maybe that's something. But I don't, like I said, I just don't have enough information at the moment to confidently release this video unless I can prove that it is somewhat legit. And maybe Bob Lazar can help me. 1995.
1995. You're talking to me about...
All right, 1995. Again, remember that. All right, here he is a month ago talking about it as well with a couple of the directors from Talk to Me, the movie.
No. I remember you showed me last time I was...
I want to see it.
You did get to see it, Danny.
I
know.
Did?
Yeah.
It's shit, right?
It's that thing when you look at it, like when you scrub
it's
it. It's very, very interesting.
It's interesting when
It's interesting, but I remember what you said, and it made sense. It's like it feels like it's the missing piece of something. That's what it feels like to me.
I'm waiting.
Yeah,
when the government's like, we've discovered these orange hovering crafts that move like that. I'm gonna be like, I got something. I want to show you something.
Well, that kind of
Wait,
just happened.
can you show me now? No, not now. Not this second, but today, like after this wraps.
I think so.
Please, I want to see it so bad.
I'm trying to think if I have it. Fuck.
I'm trying to think if I have it. Look at this guy. Anyway, he's like, it's shit, isn't it? Right? So he's kind of changing his mind a little bit about it. Here he is on Flagrant not too long after talking about it as well.
Can you drop your alien footage?
It's not that good, Andrew.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen my alien
Have you seen your alien footage?
It's not that good.
Wait, do you not know about this?
No, I do. But
Wait, how do you know about this?
Because I saw the clip. I saw him talk about it.
But you've never dropped...
James Fox, right?
Yeah,
But you never actually dropped the clip.
No, I need someone to come out and be like, this is what this technology is, and then if it's matched up with what I have, I'll be like, I also have something to corroborate that.
Can I ask you a question?
Sounds like you're doing some Dylan shit right now. You talking about
Dylan
something?
Cabot?
Okay, so anyway, they don't really talk more about this. I'm going to put links to all of this so you can watch all the full clips if you want about it. All right. Let's get to the meaty part that I have here. So what's interesting is he did an interview, Chuck Clark did, okay, that I found on Medium. All right, look at this. A conversation with Chuck Clark regarding the 1995 video. So stay with me here. There's a lot to kind of get into. In the course of working to confirm a piece of information regarding Bob Lazar, I recently had occasion to speak with James Fox. Fox suggested that I call Chuck Clark as he recollected The object in the 1995 video that Clark had shown him appeared similar to Lazar's sport model. According to Clark's recollection, the earliest the video could have been recorded is April 19th, 1996. This doesn't make any sense. Anyway, this is on May 8th, 2023, all right? So signals intelligence, investigative journalist, I'll put a link to this. You've had this video for 25 years now. Is that right? Or about that? It's been right almost 25 years. 24, I think it is. I got it in 94, 95. I think it was 95. You got it in 95, but the earliest it could have been recorded is April 19th, 1996. First of all, it's such a specific date, right? When it was given to me, basically they wanted me to go through it and see if I could find any fault with it. He says they wanted me to go through it. Okay, pay attention to that. And you didn't get it directly from whoever filmed it? No. It was an acquaintance of the person that gave me the copy. So he only talks about one person, but then he says they. Again, things aren't lining up. Okay, is there a reason why you've declined to publish it or put it out there? I gave my word to the person that gave it to me, that I wouldn't disseminate it. And he was in the media out of Hollywood. Spielberg should make it. Remember when James Fox said that? Burbank, basically, redacted for privacy, a major network news organization. That's interesting. So news organization, right? I'm assuming that person's still around. No, he passed. So it was a he. He gave it to him, right? One person. I'm not exactly sure the date, but he passed away. I know that. Okay. And that didn't change your feeling on? It wasn't sort of feeling like that after he passed. He might be okay with it. Well, it wasn't his video. He'd made a copy from a couple guys that took the video that he was acquainted with, at least one of them. How would he not know if he was acquainted with both of them? Would that be the first question you would ask? And I don't know if the guy worked at the studio out there in Burbank or if he was just an acquaintance elsewhere that he knew from the neighborhood. Guys, so much BS going off here, right? But the guys that took the video were, in my opinion, thoroughly freaked out at what they were seeing. They thought they were going to die. Yeah, does it give you pause that there's at least some connection to Hollywood and, I guess a proximity to computer graphics? Well, we've got to consider the time. The video is a typical tourist video. They hit all the tourist spots in that video, the junction of Highway 318 and 375 over in Crystal Springs with the sign, the ET Highway sign. I've been there, seen that, took pictures myself. And that was about 5:40 p.m. that had the time log on that little section. And then from there, they went out to Groom Lake Road to the boundary and filmed the guards up on the hill. And when they went up to the little alien, it was after sunset at that point. Well, they got there right about sunset. They took a picture of the ET Highway sign in Rachel with the sun was behind the sign so that you really couldn't, I know what sign they were filming, but you couldn't read it because of the exposure. And then there was a short bit of footage of the little alien itself. So I'm guessing they were probably went in and had dinner and then took that footage as they were getting ready to leave the alien. That would sync up time-wise. And the next thing in the video was the object out there. And they were in the area of the black mailbox. And I was able to identify the exact site that they were at by a couple pieces of brush that were in the video, actually. And so I know that it was right in the area of the black mailbox. Okay, so that's interesting. James Fox makes it seem like the black mailbox is in the video, but this must have been stuff that Chuck Clark told him. Just facts, right? And I'm not sure if it was the south side of the highway toward Area 51, a short distance, or if it was on the north side of the highway. It could have been either, but it was not directly overhead, but damn close. And some of the lighting effects within the vehicle. The thing was almost directly over him at some point by the shadows and stuff that was going on in the vehicle. It was actually casting a light on the dash and stuff. And when you say consider the timing, I'm assuming you're referencing the state of computer-generated graphics at that point in time. Yeah, basically not after mid-95. Because that's when I came into possession of the video. So it was prior to that. And they didn't just have the technology to fake that. They could have done it. A Hollywood crew could have done it. But I could think of a way to fake some of the stuff, but they didn't have the CGI and all the computer-generated stuff back then. That would have taken a major mainframe and a lot to fake at that point in time. Okay, so they are saying that's possible because these guys, you know, were from Hollywood. And I know you lived in Rachel for a time. Are you still out in the area? No, I left Rachel in 2006. As soon as they basically acknowledged that Area 51 was there, and that was all I was trying to get them to do, is take a little bit of responsibility and not sit there and lie to our face about it when we can see the damn place. They acknowledged Area 51 way before that. Anyway, I can tell you that a couple, you know, Bob Lazar, hello. I can tell you that a couple people that I showed the video to were NASA scientists that I knew from previous time when I lived over in California, and they thought it was legit. One of them worked on the moon rocket program. He was an engineer on the moon rocket program. The other one was involved with NASA, the tracking and stuff, but they were both convinced that it was probably legit. They thought it was legit and probably legit. I'm just saying, those are two different things. Anyway, do you know how the person who gave it to you had gotten a hold of it? Well, yeah, I mean, he told me it was an acquaintance of his. Like I say, I don't know if the guy worked at the studio. Remember he said they at the beginning? They wanted me to check it. Again, his story's not lining up. I don't know if the guy worked at the studio or was just an acquaintance from the neighborhood, but they'd gone out to Area 51, got this video, and were freaked out by it, of course. They gave him a copy of it, and he'd been out, I think, in 94, spent some time with me. They were doing a piece on Area 51. And so he contacted me and said, I want to send you this video and I want your opinion on it. And he asked me to promise him that I could show it, but couldn't give copies or anything to anybody. What? So he was allowed to show it to people, but he couldn't give out copies. And I said, sure. And I viewed it a number of times and gave my opinion. I also mentioned that I showed it to a couple friends of mine from Southern California who were involved with NASA, and they both thought it looked legit. Well, apparently he also showed it to James Fox, and who else knows back then? Did he work for, you said it was a major news organization. Did he have movie experience as well? Well, I can tell you that he was a cameraman for blank news. Okay. He was a cameraman on a piece that I did that was for blank, Burbank, about Area 51. Nothing about UFOs, just about a 51 in general. There's other cases I've read extensively for. Let's see here, about 50 years on the subject. Okay, look, I'm going to put a link to all this so you can find it. Do you know when the video was originally filmed? Did it have a date on it? It didn't have a date. All I had was the first scene in the video. First scene. Interesting. So right here, you had said that there was a couple things in the video that you have an idea on how they could have been faked. I guess I'd be curious to know what parts of the video you found particularly compelling and which parts you found, well, could be maybe something else. Well, there's about 45 seconds of roughly 3-minute video that's very compelling, and that's when you're looking at the object itself and activity from the interior of the car. That's the easiest way I can put it, and like I say, I don't want to go into too much detail on that. So basically, James Fox revealed all that, right? Okay, and did the editing of the video, was it edited, or was it like somebody just had a tape and it was just whatever they were filming at the time? It appeared that the video that I had a copy of was basically a real-time event video, a typical tourist video with the exception of the object, which most tourists don't get. Did you ever see the people who were filming on the video? No, I hear their voice, but I never see them. Why does James Fox say that the younger of the two gets out of the car? How does he know their ages? You only hear their voices. Anyway, just things to think about, right? I got the impression that they weren't very experienced operating the camera, which is a plus to me. What gave you that impression, if you remember? Well, that just wasn't clean cuts between scenes, and it wasn't clean focus. There was little bits of stuff earlier on, out of focus. Okay. And you got it in VHS format? Well, that's what it was in. Yeah. Okay. So again, I'm going to skip all this. The extraterrestrial highway signs Mr. Clark says appear in the video were erected in 1996. Right here. I've been to this sign. I have a picture in front of it. Lots of video in front of it. Anyway, you'll see it in my video. So anyway, again, it's not lining up. Logan Paul's involvement. I just want to confirm Logan Paul did come out and see the video, correct? Yeah, he did come out with Royce Myers. Royce Myers, okay. When was that? Let's see. I'm guessing a year and a half ago. Okay, and you think it's plausible that he recorded? I've been told the word that he has made a covert recording of it. Is it, Okay. And then he goes on to say, he had about $200K in cash with him. That's different, right? They watched on a 32-inch flat screen. Again, I'm going to put a link to this here, but he basically says, like, do you have the rights to the video? I'm not going to go into that exactly. Well, if the author says, well, if there was a case, then you would need to have the rights when it was given to you or at some point transferred to you from the rights holder, would be my understanding anyways. Yeah, that would be in general how it works. And you feel you would have that case, you're saying? I've said all I'm going to say on that. Okay. Is there any point in time you'd consider putting it out there? Or is this going to die with you? Well, to tell you the truth, the video is not my possession any longer. Okay. So there's been a lot of attention around recently. I think I saw somewhere that you said you had sold it to Logan Paul. Is that right? No. If he has a poor cell phone copy of it, that is pirated, and he'll wind up in court, and a lot poorer if it is disseminated. How recently did you give it away? I didn't give it away. I just said it's no longer my possession. So you didn't willingly hand it over? No. Well, I didn't hand it over to anybody. What? So you didn't willingly give it to, didn't hand it to somebody for safekeeping, for example? No. So it was taken from you. I don't want to go into its location. Do you know where it is? Yes. Was your intention to not have it in your possession? Yes. But you didn't give it away. I didn't give it away. That's as close as you're going to get. Right here. Is there anything you could tell me that just give me some understanding of how it got to where it is without giving identifying information or saying where it is, something like that? I facilitated it going to its present location. Okay, so anyway, whatever that means. I found this article in the Los Angeles Times dated June 4th, 1995. And it's basically in Rachel, Nevada, Chuck Clark's search for UFOs brought him to the desert outpost, a place with happenings so bizarre that a state lawmaker wants to name the road through here Extraterrestrial Alien Highway. So, again, the signs haven't even been put up yet. They hadn't named it that yet, right? So how can that sign be in the video, y'all? It doesn't make any sense. This isn't adding up. Again, all the things of like who gave it to him, the they, right? James Fox mentioning the younger of the two gets out of the car. Again, these things just don't add up. The black box, mailbox, there's just so much here. So I'm curious to hear everyone's opinions in the comments. I do think this video is absolute BS. And I think we should pretty much forget about it. I'm not going to lie, because before I wanted this to come out. I do want to see the video, but yeah, I think it's absolute BS. The story just doesn't add up. And when Joe Rogan said my BS meter is going up, he's right. The people that got this to Chuck Clark are from Hollywood. And my guess is they were trying to make something and see if they could fool a UFO researcher into thinking it's real and then use it in something. And they never did. So why haven't these two people come forward? Because it's a hoax. That's why. So anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments. Sorry for the long video, but I think we got to the bottom of this. I solved the Logan Paul video case, right? Tell me if you think I did, because I think I did. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next video. All right, guys. Peace.